I think I am the terror that lives in the center of everyone's mind, the psyche, the heart, the soul. Same, same, same. I am the banshee screeching, commanding attention, even as I move around in silence. There's no stopping me. Enter awareness of a bunch of other women I've spied on the internet, like I spy with my little eye, something glorious. Something I feel I could cringe at or shy away from or judge or even flat out put down. Because the women of my lineage linger in my field, haunting habits of that. And I've been really present with it for a long time, letting the voices be heard, be witnessed, sometimes even be acted upon, as in, I take any movement in any direction, doing anything, while the energy of that low vibrational opinion is moving through me. I betray my own innocence when I do. And I am okay with all of that. That all of that is true. And I guess I must confess that what I've gathered from witnessing myself alive for almost 40 years, I can't believe I'm saying that. I distinctly remember being 15, standing in the deli section of the grocery store I worked at, wishing a manager a happy 40th, thinking, wow, that's halfway to dead. I hated it. I was in such a battle with time back then. The neurodivergent conversation is something that set me free, particularly from that battle with time into sinking, slinking, becoming spaciousness, which is exactly what welcomes us home to our authentic energy mastery. I found it when my client's mother explained something to me about the difference between her and her daughter in terms of time. She described quite precisely a split in perception and experiencing. She was describing her relationship to time versus her nonverbal autistic daughters, and I had a precise experience of being like, oh, I'm on the daughter's side. Crazy. I was being trained as a care worker for the daughter a few years older than me, labeled nonverbal autistic. We went around in circles, riding the rhythms that kept her tucked into safe expressions of compliance with expectations built from both love and fear. A pretty normal family. It was not wildly surprising to me that I was identifying with someone easily categorized as handicapped or disabled. But I also did not see what was coming. I went home, a 2-story studio on Salt Spring Island that was very heavy, murky, dreary down below, and very fresh breath, light, bright, fresh breath, light, bright up top. I sat up top where I slept and Googled. I searched women with autism and found a video that was like the happiest 18 minutes of my life. Wow. Finally, this feeling of expansive, natural belonging was taking over my field. Not that I really had a sense of my own field back then. It was all a blur. I fucking hate the blur. But at the same time, sometimes I miss it. They're not wrong when they say about ignorance is bliss, but everything in its equal opposite. Ignorance is also a hell of separation from your own heart, a mangled relationship with authenticity, disturbed and distorted by, let's call them, ghosts. The blur is an ignorance built on ghosts, and it gives you room to move around the prison like you aren't passionate about breaking free. It's a kind of seductive mist that inhabited me but somehow couldn't reach all of me. Because, like I said, I am the terror at the center of the psyche. I am the untouchable place, a realm of deathly aliveness authorities have spent centuries prodding people away from, because it is the power spot. Women have been waking up. Some never forgot. Some lineages were able to transcend the pressure to fold, and yet I don't think you could show me any human who hasn't endured the suffering of separation our species has been moving through. I look on the internet and I see women who want to be ready, women who have invested a lot, women who hear the call, who let it be alive in their bodies, women who are the living signal. And I say, fuck yes, it's time. There's no stopping me. I am not one person capable of being extinguished through shame and grief and guilt have tried. Orchestrated by hands inhabited by a hunger that keeps the mess moving like a merry-go-round. Our fury is different. It is of the alchemy stitching things back together and not just select things but everything. A return to center. It is the death spot where all illusion dissolves. It is the heaven and the hell of all of it. It is the incineration of anything other than pure innocence. If we don't gatekeep any negativity, then all negative charge cancels itself out, and there we go, living lighthearted, best case scenario, infinitely resourced. The war is over. To be able to see and sense this spot means your eyes have been on fire. And you've likely been operating with a brain injury, spewing seeming dysfunction with the rationally organized world. Over functioning and under functioning, one and the same. Depletion born of distraction from the banshee lament. The scream that slices through the night, that reaches through the riptides of forgetting to enchant you into the mouth of death to sleep forever in the living dream. Not so morbid at all. And yet, there will be blood and guts and gore in the unfurling of life as we've known it. Resistance arises, addicted to the familiar, refusing what is foreign, in fear of the mystery. The mystery becomes us, one way or another. The mystery becomes us, one way or another. So I say, give myself unto her with all the willingness I can forage from the dark forest of my own consciousness. And I continue to arrive at a place we shall call contented knowing. This is the only home that can hold me. The only home I'm interested in now is one that can handle the death unending, ever giving ourselves over to the mystery, honest, when we're full of the fury that arrives, emerges, erupts upon any amount of mistaking presence for control. I can admit how much I have agonized to control, but the ache to surrender is stronger. I think it's important to know that God, universe, creator, lives in your own skull, set to rip you open, irreversible rupture of the separation, breeding a coming together of awareness, bleeding sanity. The treasure we cannot access when we are afraid of our own intensity. Get the fuck in mission. Come be in the crew, in the collective. It's a living library. Self-paced study, group study, one-on-one 6 attunement, bespoke journey with me, yours truly, Apocalypta of Antidote Aesthetic. Thanks for getting unfucked by listening to this.